With each passing day, more converge upon Earth. Pilgrims of fate. Some already arrived. Others still walking paths they do not yet understand. This gathering intrigues me. They exist in the space between heaven and hell. Their choices now will carve the shape of their eternity. But do they truly know what they are? What forces stir beneath their feet while they play their part on the board? Pawns, perhaps. Or something far more significant. Death lingers near. Yet the dead do not rest. Their whispers grow louder. Their stories claw to the surface. Deeds once buried in shadow now stray for the light. These saints, these sinners, they are unlike any I've seen. Complex, flawed, powerful. Some barely cling to their soul. Others shine so brightly, I dare not look away. They have been chosen for what lies ahead, and nothing in this world or the next will ever be the same. I must watch them. For within this fractured group lies the thread to a mystery far greater than they can fathom. And soon, it will unravel.
Yo, what's up, everybody? We are live for another episode number 80, I believe, of Rip and the Silverback. Thank you all for tuning in. Today, man, it's been a big last week or so. A lot has happened since the last show. We're going to be talking about all of that, of course, today. And now it is the final week of Saints and Sinners. I'll be chatting about that. It's closed in on $450,000 in total sales. I think we can hit that by the end of the stream. But I'm joined by my co-host, the Silverback himself, and also a writer on Saints and Sinners. Asman, how you doing, dog?
Great. Can't believe we're just over 2 days until the end of Saints and Sinners campaign. This week it's going a little bit crazy in a great way. We are literally just over $500 away from $450,000.
Let's go.
$1,000 on the campaign. I honestly didn't think you'd get it's like, what? And I don't know. Do you feel something breathing down your neck, Eric? Because from my calculations, Saints and Sinners is now less than 200 books away from passing ISOM 3.
That is very true.
Second spot. And then With 2 days to go,
Yeah.
I'm thinking Horseman number 1. Chuck Dixon. I'm calling you out. I'm coming for you. I love you, Chuck. I'm not even worthy to lace your boots, but yeah, it's crazy that there's a chance, there's an opportunity that Saints and Sinners could actually become the highest I don't know, sold book, I guess, in terms of numbers this year for the Rippaverse. But it's nice that you can only say this year.
Yeah. Look, I'm trying to pull everything up right now. Here we go. Okay, so as just mentioned, 11 p.m. Central is when this ends. You can see right now
9 p.m. Pacific,
yes,
midnight
Eastern.
Which will be 1 p.m. UK time Friday.
Yes.
Whew.
Yes.
Is
so
it? Or Saturday or 1 a.m. I don't know. Fuck, I don't know anymore.
Yeah. It's
wrong way round. I need to go the other direction. 8 a.m. the next fucking day or something. I don't know.
Oh, check this out, by the way. Speaking of Chuck.
5 a.m.
Speaking of Chuck, they just signature series. Big shout out to CGC. He's over there right now actually signing, as you see, the Horseman number 1, like as we speak. He's actually doing that. So he's hanging out with the guys over at CGC. So much love to CGC. Brandon just shared this with me. Much love to all the
great as well. Chuck, you're looking great, man.
Oh man, he's looking good, man. He's looking good. But yes, big shout out to Chuck. Big shout out to the CGC team. Obviously we got a great little partnership with them, and you can see signing that cover C right there, as well as that cane and white cover right there. So yeah, these are going to be shipping. So we got these back from CGC soon enough, and yeah, shipping's going to start. Team is already packaging things. So that book will go out immediately. Also, Yara number 3. Damn, issues going up, getting up there. Yara number 3. Same thing. Sisters are signing those as well. Ooh. And yeah, so both of those, maybe next few weeks or so, we're looking to start getting those shipped out. So yeah. It's I'm looking forward to it. Thank you all so much for that continued support. But yes, go get Saints and Sinners. We have a chance to hit $1 million in 2 days. I think we can do that's $50,000 or so. I think we can do that and hit Saints and Sinners can hit $500,000. So go grab it.
It's on. It's on.
It's doable.
Yeah, I think 500,000 it's on.
It's doable.
There's a chat. There's a glimmer of light here, and
absolutely a chance. Absolutely a chance. So please go grab that. Get the cards, next deck of cards. Grab the concept art.
Concept art book. Come on.
You got to grab that concept art book. You have to grab
get the hardback.
Oh yeah, you got to get the hardcover for sure.
Do you know?
You got to grab that hardcover.
I've got a question for you.
Yeah.
Last week, people were saying, "What is the best selling cover?" You said with you. We've left it.
Yeah.
What is the best selling cover for Saints and Sinners?
Right now, the best selling cover is cover A, which depicts as a story.
Hey! Hey, baby!
Right now, that is the best selling cover. So big shout out to much love to James Holland for that wonderful colored cover there. So yeah, that is right now the best selling covers. So we appreciate all of y'all showing love. All of them are selling extremely well. So be sure to grab Saints and Sinners. Our first anthology, writing from as here, we have Mauler, Critical Drinker, obviously, Jay, also known as Drunk 3PO, myself and the Saska sisters. About 15 pages. Mauler has, of course, 16 because the long man and all. But yeah, go grab that. Has a chance to hit $500,000. So yeah, we can do that. We can do that. So thank you all so much. We appreciate you all for the continued support for everything Rippaverse. A lot going on at the Rippaverse right now. I'll just fly through some of this real quick. Of course, we have the Rippaverse omnibus, which we announced yesterday, which, oh, by the way, I just saw that hit 25 grand. So thank you so much for that. First massive omnibus. Obviously, we have the Trinity, but this has every book, including Saints and Sinners. A lot of people asked about that. Is Saints and Sinners included? Yes. It's every book as far as the title is concerned, from ISOM #1 to Norfolk Glorious Death. All of those books are part of that. There's a collection exclusive version that's right there, the one with ISOM there that you can grab. But again, we're not going to have that for sale in the store. You may can get lucky and get it for like a live show or something. But as far as the store, that's it. Very, very simple. We don't have a whole lot of items associated with it. You can get it signed as well. Either of those will be signed by me. You can grab. So yes, go grab the Rippaverse Omnibus. Of course, we also have Norfolk Glorious Death. Billboard charting, by the way, Norfolk. Go grab that. Over 4,000 books sold already. You can grab the vinyl. Go grab the covers. Go grab the tour poster, everything, the shirts. We got a lot of cool items that you can get. I'm working on that cassette for you all right now. So thank you all so much for that. All right.
Chat, if we hit $500,000, we're releasing the Epstein list.
We'll do it.
Okay.
Under Kevin Spacey's odd orders.
Yeah, Kevin Spacey's got the list for us, right? And if we hit 500,000 in sales, we're gonna release it.
It's on my desk right now.
It's right there. I just got to go through it and take all my mates' names out.
Oh man! Also, over on the Ripper Sin side, just real quick. We obviously had the intro there, waiting for Neurotic. Over 2,000 books sold already, hitting 6 figures. Let's go, 100,000 in total sales. So thank you all so much for grabbing that. We also have Death Shroud right now, which is closing in on 40,000 books sold. Look at this lovely artwork, by the way.
The artwork's fantastic.
Got Kanan on some of it. Of course, you got V-Can Marion as well. And we, of course, have the Mighty Golden Patriot, which closes at the end of next week.
Hail Yellow Flash.
Which hit 4,000 books sold not too long ago. So thanks.
Look at that, 106,500.
Look at that. Look at that. Look at that. So we appreciate y'all so much. That's a lot of books right there sold, bro. So thank you all so much for all the love and support. So as you see, that's what, I don't know, 7 projects that are live right now that you can go get between Rippaverse as well as Ripascend. So thank you all. Thank you all. Thank you all. All right. So we haven't, and it's going to dominate the show. I'll be completely honest. I want to really do a deep dive because I haven't had the opportunity to do it. Obviously, everybody has gone through their thoughts on this Superman shit. Okay. Before we get into that,
I thought you were going to say the Epstein list again.
What?
I was going to say, we're not still talking about that, are we?
Yeah, apparently, we're not supposed to talk about that anymore, which is weird.
Still not. Okay.
Like I said, I didn't want that. I didn't want to bring that up to talk about the show, but Kevin Spacey chiming in on it makes it entertainment. So we can technically talk about this shit. And wow. As I don't think that's going away. Like, dude, this whole list shit.
You know, you've done fucked up when Kevin Spacey's calling you out.
Kevin Spacey is saying, fuck it, release it. Do it. Look, I'll make this argument real quick before we start talking Superman and stuff, but just on this, because again, what is believed or at least alluded to is that this would implicate, right, people that are politicians, world leaders, not just in like entertainment, which is also there, but, you know, obviously businesses, big businesses and shit like that. My thing is where I think the miscalculation is happening of people, of especially with this administration, is that I think believe, unfortunately, whoever is advising, especially the current admin, that the people give a shit whether or not it would implicate people that they were previously fond of. And what I think people are finding out now is they don't. It doesn't matter who's on the fucking if oh well I was fond of this guy and they're on a list, they deserve to be in a wood chipper. Nobody cares. Like they deserve the worst. You're all scumbags. Doesn't matter if they have an R next to their name, a D next to their name. They're in a movie you like. They're in a business that they own. They started a company that you buy products from. If they're fucked up people. They're child diddlers, traffickers. Those are among some of the worst people in the fucking world. So
then there's K-pop.
So you're ranking the K. So there's the K-pop guys and then the Epstein list guys. Like how does that? Yeah. It makes sense. But seriously, entertainers, whoever the fuck, it doesn't matter. It's fucked up situation. People trafficking kids is obviously wrong. And I think if you believe, I think there's a unifying issue that exists right now, which is you don't see that a lot in American Western kind of the social political sphere. I think this is one of them. Regardless of where you're at on the political spectrum, we all agree that child sex trafficking is wrong. It's bad. And it does
I agree
not
the bad thing is bad.
Yes, bad thing is bad. And it doesn't fucking matter who.
Do you know what else I don't like, Eric?
What else? Racism?
I don't like racism.
Racism is obviously bad as well.
No, that's a big netty no for me.
Yeah, racism also bad. But yeah, seeing what's happening, I mean, it's crazy. Someone showed me this link of like some of the Google shit. Like I know it's almost like they're hoping it go. It's I don't know. It's a Streisand effect, right? Because more people are now looking into this shit as they say, "Hey, there's nothing to see here."
It's easy. Just ask Pam Bondi.
Yeah.
Just say, Pam, it's on your desk.
Yeah, that's what you said.
You've already told us it's on your desk. Just have a little look. You've probably got a lot of paper there. You know, a lot of government, eh? But it's on your desk somewhere. So just pop it out. You know.
Yeah. That's it. That's all we're asking. Oh man, but yeah, man. So just real quick, and I'll go more into it, we'll move on, but just real quick, I think that the context of that whole thing matters because I don't think a lot of people know about this. Epstein being looked at for sex trafficking did not start like in 2020. He was first indicted. It was they ran that operation at Sting, if you will, in 2006. 2007, he was first indicted for the same thing, sex trafficking. That was under the Bush administration. He struck an awesome deal.
Do you know who's on that list?
What's up?
Do you know who's on that list?
What?
Bush.
Under the Bush administration, right? Under the Bush administration, he strikes a deal with none other than Alex. Well, Alex Acosta was tied up into all of that when he was working in Florida. Trump, again, I'm not saying this is connected. I'm just saying in 2017, who did Trump bring in? Alex Acosta. So I'm not making the argument that, well, it's a party thing of the Republicans versus Democrat. I think they're all in the cahoots. Whatever the cover up is, it happened under both of their watches. And yeah, maybe they all deserve to die, and I hope they burn in hell, in the words of Samuel L. Jackson.
Fine for me.
It doesn't, if you're a kid dealer, go fuck yourself. You know, so that's my position on that. And Kevin Spacey is even saying release these docs now. And yeah, this isn't going away. This isn't going away.
His name's on the list and he goes.
Well, I think he's already admitted that.
Just start listening to George Carlin. You know, that's all you had to do.
Yeah, big club, but you ain't in it.
You ain't in it.
You ain't in it.
You ain't in it.
You ain't in it. So, but yeah, either way, it's all a fucked up situation, and the government's full of piece of shit assholes. But
And
moving on
assholes
to
hate dicks, and dicks fuck pussies.
yeah, but you
And
know what? Dicks also fuck
they've also fuck assholes.
assholes. But but seriously, fucked up situation. This isn't going away, and yeah, the handling has been intriguing to say the least. Nonetheless, going on to more entertainment stuff. What have you? When the last time you taking a look at the box office stuff with Superman?
Oh, yesterday. Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
how is it looking?
It's not looking good. It's there's a lot of gaslighting bullshit going on. It's not a great start domestically. It's okay, 125 million on the opening weekend. That's okay, not great. It's not garbage. It's not great. It's okay. Internationally, terrible, absolutely terrible. 95 million international is really concerning for them. I would say that they're only saving, well, not they're only saving graces. Whether or not A, this has got legs, and B, they haven't got any competition this week or next week until Fantastic Four comes out. It's summer holidays. This is a great chance for families to go to the theater. But it's really going to be interesting to see where things lie when Fantastic Four comes out. But it's not the greatest of starts, no. Even though Warner will tell you it is, and even though the mainstream media will be like, "Oh, Warner is so happy, it's a success, a massive success." Da da da.
Okay, so let me ask you this: where's the projections looking now? Like, do you know, like if? I don't get it. And I know we got the second week. I don't know what word of mouth is going to
do. I can actually show you the project.
Okay.
There you go. So it's hitting the projections post-launch. Post-launch, it was like right at the bottom end, because the bottom end of the projection was 125 million launch, which it did hit. So it hit the bottom of the projections. And then it did 17 million on the Tuesday. The Tuesday tends to be the best day of the week, Monday to Thursday.
Okay.
And then Wednesday and Thursday come down a bit. They come more in line with what the Monday did. Thursday tends to go a little bit lower than the Monday. So it's hitting sort of the projections at the moment. But if it keeps on going the way it's going, it's sort of looking like it's going to end between 500 to 600, maybe just a little bit higher, maybe towards 650. But this is looking like a film that I would say best case scenario might make its money back, but is likely going to take a slight loss. That's not a good thing.
Well, again, we'll talk about the ins and outs of the movies. I want you to give your thoughts, the official Rip the Silverback thoughts. But before we get to that, I know we talked about on the show that with this being just with all that's riding on it and the fact that it's Superman, we talked about how, considering that this is a new universe that is being really launched through this movie, that this had to be better than okay.
Much better.
Right. In order for them to be off on the right foot.
When you got the right foot and you got the law of diminishing returns.
Yeah. Right. So you have, you got Supergirl and all that stuff coming afterwards. Tom King, Supergirl, by the way. Coming afterwards, which again, we'll see. But I was of the opinion, just considering the state of this genre, and that it's a new universe that you're asking people to get invested in, it needed to be more than okay. And it looks like at minimum, even if you look at the more polarizing, divisive kind of, people are on one extreme end or the other, where they're like, this is not good at all, versus, this is great. That still puts it in the middle. You know what I mean? Like if you add on the law of averages, right?
I would say though that it did have a strong Tuesday.
Okay.
Even though the Tuesdays are always higher than the Mondays by just how it tends to work. Maybe people kind of get a little bit of, Monday blues, and Tuesday they perk up a little bit. But Tuesdays always tend to be a little bit better. It did 5 million bigger than the Monday, so it did have a good Tuesday.
Okay. Well, I mean, they still have that. I mean, look, it just came
But
out.
it takes more than one day.
Well, yeah, but also, like I said, like word of mouth and all that, we'll see how people feel about it. But at least from the word of mouth, from what I'm seeing, you can find basically anybody that has the opposing opinion, and it's easy.
Yeah,
it's not like unanimous.
Yeah. If you just probably look and chat now, there'll be people going, "Oh, I thought it was all right," and I bet people are going, "It's trash." So yeah.
So again, I don't want to go to ins and outs. Yes, I want to say, because that's our big block is going to be the actual substance of the movie itself. Looking at the box office projections, I will ask you this, and again, referencing our old conversations, do you think it has a chance to do enough to get off on the right foot, or do you think it's like they missed that boat?
Oh, seeing what I've seen, I this is not a good start. Period.
Okay.
No matter how if you like the film, more power to you. But if you didn't like the film, then I think you're the one who's most likely gonna be on the consensus of this film over a period of time, maybe not even that long a period of time. But projection wise, in terms of box office, like I said, it's looking like its best option is going to be breaking even. You can't be starting a universe with Superman and breaking even on your first film. And like I said, I think it's actually going to make a little bit of a loss. But you can't be doing that, because your next film, Supergirl, which to me says your Supergirl movie's already done. It's already lost money. You don't even have Batman. You've released this family movie for Superman, and then the next thing that's coming out is the R-rated Peacemaker. So kids aren't going to be watching the R-rated Peacemaker. Parents aren't going to be letting their kids watch the R-rated. So that's the next bit of continuity from Superman, is an R-rated, very violent, lots of swears, tonally completely off, makes no sense. Then you're going to sorority girl, drunken whore, Supergirl. Then you're going to Clayface, which isn't even in this continuity. It's not even in this universe. It's a standalone Elseworlds. Dude, this is fucking all over the way. Then you got Lanterns, but that's on HBO Max. It's merging cinema and television is the biggest mess that you could possibly do. It's a complete and utter mess, because you'll do things in television which movie people won't get, and you'll do the same. There'll be things in the movies that maybe people don't go see, that they'll flick on the TV one day and they'll be, why I don't get this. Oh, you need to do your fucking homework.
Okay.
Maybe just stop with trying to create universes, and maybe just start creating films that stand on their own merit.
Well, I'll say this much. Me personally, I don't think, just from the general reception, that in order for it to get off on the right foot, they have done enough. Even with the early word of mouth, again, that's not to say that the movie might not have a slight tick in like making its money back or something like that. It's just that, look, you want to get off on the right foot because you're launching this entire universe, and you told us the scale of the universe was something that you really led with. That was the whole point of bringing in James Gunn. It's the whole point of having all these movies drop, or letting people know that these movies are to come, telling everybody of these their various castings and everything. So for me, I understand that there may be people that'll love it, right? Or like it, or enjoy it, or find that it's okay. But again, I think the context of, well, we're trying to get people enthusiastic about your universe, and that requires you to get off on the right foot. Okay,
Let me ask you a question.
Isn't going to be good enough. Yeah.
When you were at school,
Mhm.
right? When you were a kid, yeah, did you like getting homework?
No.
Why?
Well, philosophically speaking,
Yeah.
no. I'm like, why am I not getting all the work done in this
school?
Yeah, in school. Yeah.
Yeah. So as a kid, you kind of got the mentality of school is where I do this shit. And when I'm out of school, that's my time. That's for me to enjoy,
Yeah.
right? That's my playtime. That's my fun time. Nobody wants their entertainment to be fucking homework. Now, Marvel struck it big because it's something that had never really been done before at all. Is such a huge scale interconnecting universe that span the 10 years of cinema. And when Endgame finished, let's be honest, most people thought we're done now. It's over. I haven't got the capacity, the desire, the whatever it is to go through this all over again. But Marvel are just like, no, let's go for more phases, more. And it's been terrible. And then DC have been trying to do this, and it's failed miserably. With the Snyderverse, it's just failed. I'm sorry if you like it. Again, your bag, but it failed. And now James Gunn's trying to do the same. Oh, it's an 8-year plan. It's a 10-year plan. We've got TV. Nobody wants fucking homework anymore. Nobody wants to feel like, well, if I see Superman, I got to see this, and then I got to see this, and then I got to see this, and then I got to see this. Just make your individual films. Joker did really well. First one. As a standalone film set in a pseudo 80s sort of environment, kind of reduced some of the tech, had some tech, did very well. It was a repurposed script to something completely different. It wasn't a Joker script to begin with, and then they turned it into a Joker script, and it did what it did. The Batman, there's only been one of those. Yes, there's been Penguin, the TV spin-off, but even in terms of the cinema, there's just been The Batman. Just one movie so far, back in 2022? So that's 3 years now. So you could say that stands alone. But now Gunn's going, no, I've already had Creature Commandos. Nobody's fucking watched that at all. Now I've got Superman. Then we've got the we've got Violent Swear Man, Peacemaker, who hates superheroes and mocks superheroes. Then we've got Supergirl, but we've already had Superman. So even fatigue-wise, people are going to be Superman, there's already going to be like fatigue, super fatigue, straight away. Then let's go Clayface. Okay, where does this fit in? It doesn't. What do you mean? It doesn't. It just doesn't fit into anything. But it's our next far truck. No, stop making a mess. It's a fucking child eating alphabetti spaghetti.
I think that's more the problem. Is less of the universe in itself and its connectivity. I think it's more of, it doesn't sound like there's an actual plan or a cohesive one, right? Like maybe that's more accurate. Like, yeah, because to your point that you brought up, they talked about this being like an 8-10 year plan or however much, which whatever. I think it's more of there has to be some level of structure in anything that you do, especially if you're asking for people to be invested in it long term. And while I'm of the opinion that regardless of what universe that it's in, I think people are okay with it. And keeping up with it if it's something that's intriguing enough for them to I guess to maintain their attention. Now the problem with that is definitely when you're dealing with established characters and not some like obscure universe full of like obscure characters. You're talking about freaking Superman and you're talking about the Batmans and these are already recognized. We know these characters, right? So you're not tasked. That's actually an advantage because you're not really tasked with trying to get the audience to get to know these characters. Is one of the advantages that you have when you are in control of some massive property. But when you try to mix, well, it's not even that. I think with this movie, or in general, they wanted to start with Superman, great, but they also wanted to bring in some of these other guys, and the Trinity, if you will, is kind of it's nowhere to be found for the most part. Which
it's not, because there's no Wonder Woman, there's no
Batman, right? So they're really nowhere to be found, at least at this given moment. So they didn't start with that, and maybe again they're trying to leave that in the back pocket and build up to it. But I'm of the opinion like that's where you start, and then if you want to do some more less notable characters, or you want to weave them in, get off to the right foot, because remember, this is a new universe. So while I'm not saying that everything needs to be a freaking origin story, it's actually the opposite. Everybody knows who the fuck Batman is. Everybody knows who Superman is. Just give them a decent depiction of it, and you'll be okay. And yes, you have to still make it make sense, because there's been these other universes and all this stuff that you've attempted to create, and maybe it's confused the audience, and you want to make sure establish what your continuity actually is, and what is canon to your universe. So that all, yeah, I totally empathize with that. That's going to take a bit of time, but I think more of the problem is that when you start with Superman and the obscure heroes, you're asking for a lot. Because that's your first impression of the universe is that. No Batman, Wonder Woman, again, not anywhere to be found right now. We're going from Superman to Supergirl, and Batman's in limbo, really, because it's like this movie hasn't even started production as far as the Matt Reeves or their Batman or whatever the fuck is happening with that. Are they going to tie this into the universe? That's all that shit's up in the air. We don't really know what the fuck they're going to do, and that's a problem. Well, people don't know what you're going to do with your, again, I'd argue the most popular hero in general. Like, I would say, as far as people keeping up with it, Superman may be the most recognizable. But Batman, like, as far as investment into these characters, that's probably the superhero. Though
Batman is DC's biggest hero.
Right. So, with that being said, he's nowhere to be found. And that's very much a James Gunn thing, right? Like, I think of James Gunn, obscure characters, and that's what he gave you with this. All right, moving on though. We'll talk a little more about that. But
before we do,
okay.
You've actually brought up an interesting talking point. Is
okay.
Batman's in limbo now. If there was real kind of support and backing behind the Gunverse, Matt Reeves' Batman would be put to bed. It would have been put to bed, and they'd be saying to Gunn, "We need your Batman. We need your, everything else is put to bed.
Mm-hmm.
Joker, Clayface, everything's put to bed now. This is all you." The reason why they can't put Reeves' Batman to bed right now is there's probably a good chance that this Superman film isn't going to do as well as the Batman film from 3 years ago. Now, the Batman film from 3 years ago did make a profit. It did actually work out to be a profit, probably a couple of 100 mil, 150, couple of 100 mil profit. So it did eke out a little bit of profit. So they can't put to bed potentially the only thing that's going to eke out a profit. Do you honestly see Supergirl turning profit? Particularly when the budget has been announced at about 200 million, which means the film's got to hit 550 to break even. I don't think that film's making a fucking profit, dude.
Yeah, like I said, it is interesting. I wonder how much of that though was predetermined, because look, no secret, weird tweets aside, I'm talking about James Gunn.
Yeah.
I was not a fan of him being in control of his universe. And this was when that was announced, and I'm still like semi kind of intrigued by what's going on. I just didn't think he was the guy. Reason why I didn't think he was the guy is because of the evidence that I saw with some of the superheroes that he had already dealt with, namely in Guardians and Suicide Squad, especially.
Well, even in Peacemaker, he mocked them.
Yeah.
He mocked them. He mocked them all. Batman, Flash, Superman, Wonder Woman. At the end, you know, Peacemaker's telling him all to fuck off.
Yeah.
And this is the guy that you want taking over? No, when it comes to quirky, offbeat, you know, characters, great. Leave James Gunn, let him have a play. But classic heroes, nah, I don't. He's not.
Yeah, I don't think he was the guy. And again, that's who you would have to lead with DC, because you're talking about the definitive versions of the superhero, right? And superheroines. So I don't think he was the guy. You know, and again, I'm putting in my own bias aside with, you know, how I felt about the Guardians franchise. Well, again, I know some people had a lot more favorable perspective on that. I'm not saying that it was just all around dog shit, but there were some things, and you can go watch some of my old reviews and discussions about this when I was really tied into this, tapped in. I thought that there were some things that were just unforgivable as far as his handling of some of these characters. But I believe the reason why he gets away with that is because a lot of these are more obscure, especially with Normie. So he can get away with having Drax be a completely different fucking character because, well, I'm the only one that's going to be bitching about that for the most part.
Yeah, because there's not. It's a niche. Guardians is a niche thing.
Right. Exactly.
So most people, I don't know anything about Guardians. I'm more of a DC guy than
right.
I didn't know anything about Guardians of the Galaxy. So I'm literally being presented with what I'm being presented with on screen.
Right.
And that is what the companies are relying on. And Kevin Feige himself said the reason why we're picking more obscure characters is so that we can do what the fuck we want.
Yeah, no frame of reference. Yeah.
Yeah.
There's no frame of reference. That's what they tried to use to their advantage. And again, I think that if you are, and maybe we're talking about this differently, if you're like, okay, let's say you were even going to do a Creature Commandos like movie, and it was James Gunn, and that was his thing, right? That was his contribution to this larger universe. Then that makes a little more sense than putting James Gunn in charge of the whole shit. And now he's again having to do a Superman, having to facilitate at minimum the definitive versions, at least as far as his universe, of these various characters, when we really know that the best thing that he can do is make an obscure character or group liked by people that don't really know those characters. At best, they may know of them. And that's when James Gunn, that's where he shines. Suicide Squad, an example of that. Again, Guardians, probably the example of that, where a lot of these characters don't act jack shit like their counterparts, their comic book counterparts, but it works because, well, they're more obscure. Guardians, they brought them in for that reason, like that nobody had a frame of reference to these guys, and therefore they can do whatever they want. And the only people that are going to be griping about it are the fucking geeks like me.
Sure.
Now, you're dealing with Superman. Superman isn't Drax. You know, Superman isn't fucking Nebula or Gamora. You know, Superman is the hero. Batman is the hero. Though again, we don't know what the fuck that they're gonna do with that. Wonder Woman, the hero, the heroine. Okay, these are the characters. That's miles different from having some obscure character and trying to now make them likable or digestible for a normie friendly audience. Okay, so I don't think that James was the guy that ever was, and we'll see as time progresses how the audience feels about it in general. Because I know they're already talking about Supergirl now.
But it's finished. They're finished filming. It's in post now.
So I'll ask you this. Now I want you to take as much time as you can. I know you got your review, but we need the Rip the Silverback version of the review.
Yeah.
So we can stand in this. I mean, top to bottom, take us through. Because you went and saw the fucking movie. You're a DC guy like I am. lay it out there. How does as the Silverback feel about Superman 2025?
I'm gonna sneeze again. I always sneeze when I have to do with bullshit. It's kind of like a trigger. Look, when I did my review, I gave it a 5 out of 10. When I'd slept on it a couple of nights, I actually revised my score down to a 4 out of 10.
Oh, okay.
On afternoon tea with Az, I went through the whole film again, and I was sort of challenged on my, 5 out of 10. You said it's mid. This is not sounding like a mid review. It wasn't a mid review. I certainly disliked it a lot more than I liked it, so I actually revised it down to a 4 out of 10. It starts off really clunkily with clunky exposition on screen. It literally just has text saying 30 years ago, the planet Krypton blows up. 3 years later, Kal-El arrives on Earth. Also, and it kind of does this 3, 3, 3, 3. And then it says 3 minutes ago, eventually 3 years ago, Clark Kent became Superman. Three years ago. And then it said 3 minutes ago, Superman loses his first ever fight. And then we just see him plummeting to Earth as we've seen in the trailers. Where he's just lands in the Antarctic, whatever, whichever one's in the right place.
With a bunch of ice.
Yeah, the place with the ice, but it's the right one.
Yeah.
And he's all bloodied up, and then I'm already there thinking, why do I care? Because you've just given me a bunch of exposition. You've literally given me text on a screen. So what does it mean for Superman to lose his first fight? Is Superman in absolute shock that he's lost? Is Metropolis in absolute, disarray because Superman has lost this fight? Is Metropolis now being leveled because whoever's fucking knocked him all the way to the, whatever, is that now being leveled and smashed to pieces? What are the stakes here? Well, Krypto comes and he takes him back to the Fortress of Solitude, and we get Silly Billy shit. We get what we've seen. We see him being taken by the robots, have the sun put upon him to heal, and then we get all these jokes. What's going on? Why does the fortress look like a shit tip? Why is Krypto destroying everything? Why aren't you robots looking after him? And I'm thinking, sir, you've just lost your first fight. According to the exposition, you've just lost your first fight, and you don't care. You're not bothered. I mean, he said, I got to get back there, but I mean, that's the only thing he said. I got to get back there. I mean, it's like, right. You look nonplussed. You look non-phased by this, So we just got the Silly Billy stuff with Krypto. The engineer has somehow managed to keep absolute pace with Superman and is right by his Fortress of Solitude. So when Superman fucks off back to Metropolis, she sees that the Fortress of Solitude's there, and then she sees it like rises and sinks into the ice, so you can't see it. When Superman fucks off, it sinks into the ice. And then Superman gets back to Metropolis, and that's all I can remember because the film's so fucking forgettable.
Damn.
No. Okay. So no, he gets back to Metropolis, and I am thinking, what exactly happened after that? This is so weird. I saw this film Friday, right? And it's been 5 days since I saw it. Thursday, sorry, it's been 6 days since I've seen it. More and more just leaves my brain. Because there's just my brain's like, what's the point even holding on to it? There isn't a memorable scene in this film. There isn't a memorable scene where you just like, God damn, that was a good set piece, So Superman gets back into Metropolis, and something happens. I don't know. It doesn't seem like anybody really gives a shit. Nobody seems to be panicking. With the person who beat Superman says, I beat up your hero because he come to my country and prevent us from invading other country. You stay out of our businesses. It's later revealed, by the way, that it's Ultraman in a armor suit, so you can't tell that it's Ultraman. Now, why Superman didn't use his X-ray vision at any time to see who's under the armor or the Ultraman suit is beyond me. But anyway, the engineer suddenly just appears back into Metropolis as well. She can fly as quickly as fucking Superman can. And she's reported to Lex that she knows where the Fortress of Solitude is. So they're like, okay, we need to create another diversion for Superman. But it comes out, by the way, the reason why Ultraman is able to beat Superman is because, and hear me out, Eric, because this isn't even me being silly, or this isn't even hyperbole. Lex can look at Superman fighting, think that he's predicting Superman's next move, relays it in a code A4 to a guy who's by a computer that then types in A4, which then gets relayed to Ultraman through a headset, which allows Ultraman to parry or block or counter the move that Superman's doing. So
that information's happening that fast. Like,
yeah, it's like C2, 3B, and then they're going. That apparently is quicker than Superman, the man who's faster than a speeding bullet.
That's very interesting.
It's fucking retarded. Is what it is, Eric. It's not interesting. It's fucking retarded. That Lex communicating verbally to a third party who's then communicating it to another third party is quicker than fucking Superman throwing a punch or a kick. What are they going to do? Anyway, so Lex says, I need to create another diversion. So they get this.
So hold on, back up. Because again, remember, I haven't seen this, so I'm trying to make sense of the movie.
Lucky fucking you.
So where does Lex play in? Okay, so you said the engineer tells Lex that she's found the
general location of the Fortress of
Solitude. So by up to this point, do we know why that interests Lex in the way that it does, and what is the diversion to, like, for him to like get there, or like what exactly is the reasoning behind that?
Right. Well, when she reports to Lex where the Fortress of Solitude is, he calls back the Bavarian beast, or whatever they're calling it, Bavarian beast, or whatever they're calling it, who's just beat Superman in a fight for the first time that nobody gives a shit about. I'm effing retarded. I am effing retarded, but that's got nothing to do with this fucking film, I promise. Okay. Two things can be fucking retarded at the same time. Okay. Both myself and the film. So Lex calls back the beast of Bavaria, whatever, the hammer of Bavaria. And he comes into the Lex headquarters and he takes the armor off, and it's Ultraman. So they want to access the Fortress of Solitude, but to access the Fortress of Solitude, they need a diversion that's going to prevent Superman from going to the Fortress of Solitude in case alarms are tripped or anything like that.
Okay.
That's just the reasoning.
Okay, I'm thinking I'm following it. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, Lex wants a diversion so he can go to the fortress, and Superman would be busy fighting the diversion. Right.
Okay.
So we've seen it. You know, the kaiju, it's actually a tiny little thing. It's a tiny little grommet like this, but apparently it really grows. So they release one of these at night, and then by the morning, we see, it's a huge kaiju. So Superman's got to go fight this huge kaiju now. So he's fighting it, and it's, he's saving the dog. You've seen the scene. He saves the dog. He blows the dog away. He saves the girl. We've seen that, saves the girl, saves a squirrel, because, he's Superman. That's fine, okay. And then the Justice Gang, the JG, the James Gunn turns up. The JG, the Justice Gang, the James Gunn. They turn up. Guy Gardner, Mr. Terrific, and Hawk's girl. So while this is going on, Lex has landed at the coordinates, and they discover the Fortress of Solitude. The Fortress of Solitude rises out of the ice. Why would the Fortress of Solitude rise out of the ice?
And no Superman?
No Superman. So it rises out of the ice. Okay? So they go to the front door. The front door just opens up. And they said, how can we get in here if there's no Kryptonian to open the door? There's three people. There's the engineer, who's not Kryptonian. There's Lex Luthor, who's not Kryptonian. And then there's Ultraman, who's covered up, so you can't see what they... So I'm not trying to insult you here, Eric.
Okay.
What would your guess be that if the doorway only opened to Kryptonian DNA, and there were three of you, two that you could clearly see were humans or were a human at one point, and another that was completely covered up, what would you speculate?
That Ultraman is Kryptonian.
Oh!
Big brain.
Me retarded. It's called out in the chat. Called out. Me retarded. Me no work brain function. Me no be able to work this out. So yeah, if you're 5 years fucking old, you could work that out. Well, Ultraman must have Kryptonian DNA. Now, we know DC a little bit, you and I, you know? We know who Ultraman in the comics is.
Yes.
He's a version of
Superman.
So before we've even got to see the film, we fucking know.
Yeah.
Oh, they're covering Ultraman's face. Oh, that'd be because it's a version of Superman. It'll be a clone of Superman, or it'll be Ultraman from another.
Superman from another universe.
Yeah,
essentially. Yeah.
So it'd be sort of like one of those. It'd be one of those, and you'll take off the mask, and it'll be David Cornsweat. It'd be a carbon copy.
Yeah.
Unless it's Henry Cavill, in the case that would have brought the house down.
That would have fucking been crazy.
That would have been the play to me.
That would have been that would have been the move. That would have 1000% been the move. Fuck James Gunn. What are you doing? That would have been the move.
Yeah, that would have
absolutely that would have been the move. Holy
shit.
That
came off and it was Cavill.
That would have been the move.
I would have gone, oh
yeah.
The cinema would have erupted.
That would have been the move.
But unfortunately, we are better think. we can make much better movies.
Yeah.
So they go into the fortress. The robots are just like, oh, you can't enter here. Only Kryptonian DNA can open the door. Oh, thank you for explaining that to us. Now we know that the third guy's Kryptonian. So they destroy the robots, as we've seen in the trailer, because if you've seen the trailer and the vignettes, Eric, you've seen the whole film.
That's what I thought. I mean, I was seeing those back. They would seem to drop back to back. And by the week before or the week of the film, I was like, I haven't even, obviously, I don't have interest to see it. That's what we got asked there for. But
that's why I'm retarded. I take the brain damage. I take the brain damage.
We moved the brain damage. We moved the brain damage to ass. No, but seriously, I felt like Deb. Like I've seen through the trailers all of this movie, this entire movie.
You have seen the entire movie, even to the point where even the early trailers, some of those shots are after the end bosses have been defeated.
Mm.
And we're getting the wrap-up. The literal wrap-up. Like, for instance, when the spaceship's on the ground and you see the ruined buildings around it, that's the calm down after the final bosses are after Lex is beaten, after Ultraman's beaten.
Wow.
That's the calm down. When Mr. Terrific says to Superman, stop messing around, he's like, I'm not messing around. When he does that, that's after Ultraman's been defeated. When Lex is doing his crying, that's after Ultraman's been defeated. And Superman's coming to get him.
Interesting.
So you've seen the whole film if you've seen the trailers. So they're wrecking the Fortress of Solitude. And when Superman was charging up from the rays of the sun after being beaten for the first time that he doesn't seem to care about, nor does anybody in Metropolis.
Notice nobody
even though he's been Superman for 3 years and it's first defeat, and because nothing in this film is ever allowed to sit or have a consequence. Okay. So when he was sat down being charged back up by the sun, as we've seen, the robots play the only message that he has of Jor-El and Lara, which is, son, we love you so much. We love you more than the sky. We love you more than the mountains. We love you more than the earth. And we're told that there's a second half of the message, but it's been corrupted. Okay. We have all these Kryptonian robots. They can't fix this, right? They can't fix this message. Okay. So the engineer goes to the computer, the Kryptonian computer, and says, I think I can interface with this and get all of its data.
Very impressive.
How? Yeah, how? Don't know. Okay. So she just interfaces with the computer, downloads all the stuff, okay? So the kaiju, Superman's fighting the kaiju like smacks Superman into the ground at one point. It creates the crater. You've seen it in the trailers where the brown dude goes into the crater and he pulls Superman out. And he's like, Superman, let me help you, because you help us here in Metropolis. Let me help you. And Superman says, by the way, are any of you concerned that I just lost my first fight yesterday? Anyone? Anybody? And then, and it's like, because I know that I don't. And they just went, what? Was that a plot point? And he was like, no, it's not. It's not. It's never going to be brought up again. Nobody cares. Least of all me. Anyway, so Superman gets back out and he starts fighting the kaiju again. So Superman is like, I need to try and minimize as much damage as possible. The kaiju is smashing through some buildings, but fortunately managing to miss every single solitary person in them, so there are no casualties. James Gunn comes along, Justice Gang comes along, and they start recklessly fighting the kaiju, which is causing more collateral damage. And Superman's like, no, guys, come on. We need to get it out of the city. We need to get it away from people. And the Justice Gang are just like, ha, ha, ha. We're just reckless poopy pants. Ha, ha, ha. We don't care. So Mr. Terrific ends up firing some bombs into the kaiju's mouth. The only time Superman uses his X-ray vision in the whole fucking film is he sees the bombs go down into the kaiju's stomach and then they explode, and then the kaiju starts falling and Superman grabs him and manages to put him down in a park for as least damage possible. The Justice Gang have no respect for Superman in the slightest. They don't give a shit about him. 3 years, by the way, he's been Superman. So the heroes of Metropolis that are sponsored by Maxwell Lord, the Vought in this movie to the boys, they'd start, hey, don't worry, citizens of Metropolis, thanks to Lord Enterprises, your Justice Gang have solved the problem. And they don't seem to, gravitate towards the Justice Gang, but apparently they like Superman, but they don't care that he lost a fight yesterday. And nobody seems to be asking where the Hammer of Bravaria is, or if he's coming back, or if he's going to kill Superman, or whatever. Anyway, Don't worry about it. James Gunn didn't. So we discover that Lex Luthor, with the data that the engineer has downloaded from the computer in the Fortress of Solitude, has managed, because he's a Kryptonian tech wizard, is our Lex Luthor, by the way. The Kryptonians couldn't fix it. The Kryptonian robots couldn't fix it. By the way, Supergirl makes a brief cameo in this, and she was a girl, a teenage girl on Krypton. If you know your lore, so she would know what Lara and Jor-El were like because they're fucking cousins. It's her aunt and uncle. Anyway, Lex Luthor has managed to take the data stolen by the engineer and fixed the second half of the message from Jor-El and Lara. And after the fight's over, he's playing the message on a TV show already. Okay. I wouldn't know what 12th level intellect is, DB. Me's a retarded, sir. Me's a look at the window. And so they play the rest of the message, and it starts off, Kal-El, we love you so much. We love you more than the sky. We love you more than the mountains. We love you more than the earth. We love you more than life itself. Earth is full of retards, right? So dominate them. Go conquer and smash as much puss as you fucking can to spread your seed. And everyone's just like, okay. So Superman bad? So Superman sees this, is just like, that's not true. That's gotta be a fake. That's not true. And then we see the bit where he's pissed off and the guy because the crowd immediately
turns on him just like that.
Turns on him because Lex Luthor said on TV.
Yeah, just because he said on the TV that was what, so they said, go fuck it. That's crazy.
So they were like, boo that man, and the tomatoes come out, and
that's crazy.
That guy throws the tin, the drink at the back of his head, and we see that, and then we see, which we've already done in the trailer, we've seen Superman come into the building and Guy Gardner cut it all off. And Guy Gardner goes, "Is this true?" And Superman is like, "No, it's got to be a fake. He's got to have doctored the message. The first part is true, where he's talking, let's say I love you, but the second half, it's got to be bullshit." And then Mr. Terrific says, "Well, the experts that Lex sent the footage to have all corroborated that this is in fact true and not a fake, and I believe these people. So, sorry, Clark, but this is a real message." So Superman says, by the way, Superman, the investigative reporter who's dating an investigative reporter, and yes, I've completely bypassed the 10-minute fucking interview scene with Lois that he does, which goes on and fucking on and fucking on. Anyway, so he goes, I guess it's a fair cop. So the investigative reporter doesn't decide to investigate this in the slightest. And then the investigative reporter girlfriend also decides not to investigate anyone. The dog's had enough. He's off. I don't blame you. He's like, I've already heard this fucking shit before. I'm out. Bye. So they say, what are you going to do? So Superman's like, well, the only thing I can do, I'm going to give myself up. I'm going to hand myself in so we can sort this out. Now, we've already seen, by the way, that Lex has got a pocket universe. He's created a pocket universe, which there's loads of portals around planet Earth. And he goes into the portals and can appear in different places. So Lex is in Bravaria or whatever the fuck that place is called. And he's with the leader. And they've all been conspiring together, They wanted to get Superman to come over and stop the invasion because they wanted to create this whole scenario with Superman. So the leader of Bavaria is there, the engineer is there, and Lex is there, and they're all talking. And the engineer says to Lex, "Good work on doctoring that message from the Fortress of Solitude." And Lex says, "I didn't even have to doctor it. The guy had my own fucking, my own evidence in his computer all along." He said, "I didn't have to do a thing." And they're all like, ha, 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 ha. Now, some people are coping online that Lex is lying and this is all bullshit. But James Gunn himself confirmed that it's not bullshit.
I did see that. I see that was something that a lot of people took exception to with this version of Jor-El that they are deciding to reference. That there was a triple down in the movie itself, and then James Gunn did it as well. So,
and then James Gunn himself said, "Yeah, no, this is exactly what I had planned. This is a." So yeah, so Jor-El, so Jor-El was talking about creating super harems around Earth. There's loads of harems around Earth. And even the Bavarian leader is just like, comes on TV and goes, "Yes, I knew Superman evil all along. He has harem here in Bavaria because we have the most beautiful woman on the planet." So he's doing all this. The guys, I love him and I wish he was the leader of my country. But alas, not going to happen. Not going to happen. So Superman gives himself up, and we see, as we've already seen in the trailers, Ultraman smash his head into the concrete. He gets his hands bound behind his back, and we see, himself and Rick Flag Sr. taking him away. And the government give him to Lex Luthor to interrogate. So Lex takes
wait. So you're saying the government gives? Wait. The government gave Superman Lex, so Lex could interrogate Superman. Let me ask you this: how established was it? Obviously, we know that Mega being leader of some mega corporation that's very Lex. But as far as his close ties working directly with the state, with the government, was that established in this movie? At least prior to this moment,
he had a meeting. He had a meeting with a couple of government people and Rick Flag Sr.
Okay. So all right, give him the benefit of the doubt, which I shouldn't. In their universe, he's just hella connected.
He's hella connected, yeah. He's
obviously, which again, Lex should be hella connected.
I can look. In all fairness, I can believe that corporation and government are.
Oh yeah, no, I was about to. That's very much Lex. I want to be clear about that. That's why I brought that up. That said, those ties would have to be, in order to justify it in this universe, and I'm not saying they didn't. That's why I asked. Would have to be well established, because that's a big. I mean, just
they had one meeting, Eric. They had a meeting. That's enough.
I'm sorry, for me,
has got to move from scene to scene to scene.
For me, that's
and then if we let something sit, if we let something develop,
not enough.
We get and then,
not even close to enough. Mainly because this is Superman. I'd imagine that everybody sees him as one of the most powerful beings, and at least that they have access to.
Oh, well, we've seen 4 heroes so far.
Yeah.
And he seems to be the weakest of all fucking 4 of them.
Okay. Well, that's also fair.
Mr. Terrific seems to be the most powerful by a country.
Well, okay. That in itself is fair, because the only thing I'm trying to connect the dots, again, a secondhand account.
Fair play.
Perhaps.
Fair play.
Terrific,
fair play. I know.
That said, I was just like, okay, if you're going to hand over one of the most powerful beings on the planet to a corporate entity, those ties have to be, again, beyond simply, hey, we've had a meeting, we've discussed things. It has to be something concrete, if that makes sense. Like that is well established. Like, this is why the government, and that's why I was hoping that you'd answer. Like, this is specifically why, yes, I understand it. It's Lex. He's supposed to be very connected. He is very connected. It's Lex Luthor. And to the world leaders and what have you, that's very much in character for him. But I was just wanting to know if that was like established in at least their universe, at least in some capacity, that yeah, we're gonna just hand over the most powerful being to Lex.
What if they took, let's just say for argument's sake, they took Guy Gardner, Mr. Terrific, and Hawkgirl out of the film, and all the screen time that they were taking up, they could actually allow character development from Lex and plot development from Lex. But then we can't have silly Billy jokes. So which is going to be...
And that means James Gunn can't have his movie.
Don't bury the lead, as the meeting didn't go well. It went well enough for them to hand Superman over to Lex. Is how well it went.
No, that's a pretty big deal. I don't know. I mean, like I said, maybe others don't take exception to it, and it's just like, oh, it's dumb fun, whatever. But that's a pretty, like, again, you're just looking at it in any context. Like, okay, why is one of the most powerful beings being handed over to some corporate entity?
Okay.
Not saying that you can't have a plot device or that can't be a plot point. I'm not saying that can't happen. That's very much, I think you can. There's a way to justify it. I was just wondering, like, well, did they? Because it's like, hey, because reasons isn't really justification. Because that's a big deal for something.
Well,
like that.
I would say
like
I would say there's a bigger deal to discuss soon, which dwarfs that into comparison. Because what happens when you are given access to Superman to interrogate, and you've just discovered, as the bad guy, you're the bad guy, you've just discovered that his dad wants him to rule Earth and repopulate Earth with as many fucking women as possible so he can spread his seed, right?
Mm-hmm.
I would say there would be a huge conversation to be had then.
Yeah,
because
most definitely.
The best type of villain is the villain that thinks they're right.
Yeah, for sure. Justified.
And if Lex gets the justification, I was right. I'm right to do what I'm doing. I'm right to be as ruthless as I am, because this man, put it this way. Somebody said in my stream the other day, if this was the motivation in Batman v Superman, it would make a whole load of more sense why Batman wanted to take him out. Instead of just, even if there's a 1% chance.
Gotcha.
But when you're presented with information like this, then you could see that Batman would be like, I can't fucking risk this.
That's fair.
At least he gets a better justification. So anyway, he gets taken to a beach, and in a tent in the beach, there's one of these portals which take Superman through to the pocket dimension. And when he arrives at the pocket dimension, you see that there is in fact a row of monkeys in a pocket dimension that are typing out disinformation on the internet 24/7.
This was good.
He does have it. It's on his desk.
That's how he was able to get access to Superman. That makes sense.
Redacted.
That makes sense.
Redacted. So you do see the monkeys going smacking the keyboards because they're doing 24/7 disinformation. So he's put inside of a cell, clear cell. They're all clear glass, and you can see there's loads of different people here. And yes, it is true as well. Lex has ex-girlfriends that have dissed him online, locked away in a pocket dimension.
Okay.
So he's put inside of a cell with Metamorpho, and Lex says, right, by the way, what's even more fucking retarded is apparently the whole of planet Earth knows that kryptonite is Superman's weakness.
In 3 years.
Yeah. But there's no more kryptonite on planet Earth.
So the kryptonite is come and gone in 3 years.
Yes. A, kryptonite has come and gone in 3 years, and B, it's known information to the
everybody.
fucking man on the street that Superman is in fact vulnerable to kryptonite. So Lex says, even though there's no more kryptonite on Earth, Metamorpho here, he can create any element that we want, even ones which no longer exist, including kryptonite. So Metamorpho creates kryptonite, which keeps Superman subdued. And the hook is Metamorpho has got to do this because in a glass cell across the way, there's a man that's in a cell with Metamorpho's son, which looks like a CGI string of snot. And if Metamorpho doesn't do what Lex says, he's going to kill the baby. Okay? So that's why Metamorpho got to do this. So every time Superman tries to speak to Metamorpho, Metamorpho goes, shut up. Shut up. So Lex decides to interrogate Superman and brings to Superman his biggest weakness. Who would you say is Superman's biggest weakness?
In the context of this movie or in general?
Yeah, in just people. Who would you say?
It'd be Lois Lane.
Okay, well, you're very close. It was the random brown guy. It was the random brown guy that helped Superman out of the hole in the ground earlier.
Oh, that guy. Okay.
That
make random brown guy Lois Lane. I can see
this
where...
is why James Gunn gets paid the big bucks.
Okay, I got you.
This is why he gets paid the big bucks, and we're just retarded, you know.
Okay.
Oh, I am at least. You're not, because you didn't go see this film, but I am. So the random brown guy who helped Superman get out of the hole, Lex says, "Ha! I'm going to play Russian roulette with this guy. And every time you don't give me an answer, I'm going to pull the trigger." So he's like, "Who are you working for?" He's saying, "I'm not working for anyone." And he pulls the trigger and he blows his brains out straight away. Because that's, you know, oopsies. So Superman starts crying that random guys died, right? Now, I would say Superman would probably get very angry, very pissed. But he starts crying because random brown guy got shot in front of him, and Lex is just like, "Well, I've got to find somebody else now." And he does actually say something funny, because he does say, "I'm going to get that reporter that seems to mean so much to you, Clark Kent," because in this film, it's Clark Kent that's been interviewing Superman. Clark Kent's been interviewing Superman. And that's why Clark Kent's got a byline on the front page of the Daily Planet. And even Lois is just like, people are going to start to get a little bit suspicious if Clark Kent keeps fucking interviewing Superman. You need somebody else. And that was the motivation for the scene earlier where Lois interviews him.
Got you.
Yeah. Was that retarded before watching the film? Or did the film make him retarded? I would say a little bit from column A and a little bit from column B, Garrett. A little bit of both. So Lex says, "I'm going to have to find somebody else. Deuces. See you later." So he buggers out of the pocket dimension, leaving Superman at the mercy of Metamorpho and his kryptonite. So Lois goes to the James Gunn, Hall of James Gunn, Justice Gang. And the Hall of Justice looks fine, you know? Hall of Justice. Hey, is this the first time we've seen a live-action Hall of Justice? Maybe. So she goes to see, and we see the vignette that we've already seen with Guy Gardner going, "You do know that he wears hypno glasses, so people can't tell who he is." And she's like, "Yeah, I know, because I know who he is." And then he's like, "Oh, because you know he's Clark Kent?" And she's just like, "For fuck's sake, who does he tell?" And Guy's just like, "Well, we are of the cloth, you know." So anyway, she says, "Look, I think Superman's in trouble. he seems to have just vanished after handing himself in. And Guy Gardner, after all this little banter, goes, "Yeah, don't care." And Hawk Girl goes, "I'm absolutely fucking useless in this film, and I also don't care." And then Mr. Terrific says, "I implanted a Deus Ex Machina in all of the heroes. I've put nanites in every hero so that I can track them at all times."
Okay. Batman type shit.
Batman type shit. Yes.
Yeah.
So when Lois leaves, he actually comes out and says, "Do you know what, Lois? I'm actually going to help you. Let's figure this out. Here's the nanites that are in his blood," and they go to this beach, and then he just goes into this tent and vanishes. We need to go here. So she goes, "Okay, do you want to?" I mean, even Lois is so stupid. She goes to a car and says, "Do you want me to drive?" What? Sorry, you're going to drive across the fucking water? What? Where do you think you're driving to, Lois? Anyway, and he's like, "No, we're going to take." Well, he's like, he kind of looks like she is retarded because she is. And says, "No, we'll take my vehicle." And then we get the gag, which we've already seen because it was released, where he tries to open the garage door and it's taking ages. It's like, and James Gunn's literally in every theater around the country going, "Isn't it funny? It's slow. He's really good with tech, but the garage door is really slow because garage doors." I tell you what, Eric.
Yeah.
I didn't laugh at all. Yeah, we're down from 5 to 4 from 4 to 3 now.
The score just keeps getting lower as we revisits this fucking movie. It talks himself through it.
They get into his little ship and they fly off to this beach, right? And Mr. Terrific, by the way, is easily the best character in this film because he's cool, he's confident, he's capable, and he's masculine, which is more than I can say about most of the men. And so they get to this island and the guards are just like, whoa, what do you think you're doing? And he's just like, "Fuck off." And so they all try to attack him. He immediately puts up the bubble, which you've already seen in the trailer. Puts up the bubble around him and Lois. Lois is like, "Oh," some really bad music. Well, it's not really bad music, but some music plays which just doesn't reflect the scene at all. And then Mr. Terrific just takes out all of the guy with his spheres. And it does that. That scene would be better if you could actually see what was going on, but they did the whole Guardians of the Galaxy thing where they sort of pan. They do the whole pan thing, which they do later when Superman's in the sky and he's doing all the, they do the pan thing. And I was just like, I just want to see Mr. Terrific kick ass. I don't want to see this panning from the perspective of Lois Lane looking, because he's doing some pretty cool stuff with the spheres and he's taking everybody out. He's doing a better job than fucking Superman does in his whole film.
Damn.
So he takes everybody out, and then they get to the pocket dimension. They open the door, but because Lex has moved the little device that they stood on to move out the way, they got nowhere they can go. And apparently there's an anti-proton river below them, so they can't fall into that because they'd die immediately. Okay. Anyway, Superman has absolutely no way to get out of his prison because Metamorpho has got him trapped with the kryptonite. And you can see his face is all fucked up and he's got heavy kryptonite poisoning. So how is Superman going to get out of this? Because if Metamorpho does anything, the guy's going to kill his son. Oh, the guy's just fucked off. So Metamorpho just suddenly goes, "Oh, if I let you go, will you save my son?" And Superman's like, yeah, I can do that. Yeah. Huh? So he says, okay. So he stops with the kryptonite and he's like, go get him. And Superman's just like, I can't. I'm weak as fuck. I can't do anything. He's like, why can't he do anything? He's like, well, I need the sun. I need the sun to charge me back up so I can do something. And then Metamorpho's like, well, I can't create a sun, but I can create this. And he starts creating, some sort of mini whatever, which charges Superman up. And then the people can see this huge light emitting from his cell and be like, hey, there's something going on over there. I don't know, maybe. And then that's when we see Superman smash himself out the cage, which we saw in the trailers. He zaps across to the other cage to grab the stringy piece of snot. This awful CGI piece of snot, which is Metamorpho's son. Everybody starts attacking them. There's a very, very bad fight scene in this pocket universe where Superman is plunged into the anti-proton river, but he's trying to keep the kid up out of the river, otherwise the kid's dead. But he's also trying to prevent the kid from being shot at the same time. But Superman can't just deal with these, what we find out are just people in a suit. Anyway, we'll get to it. So Mr. Terrific's just like, oh no, the pocket universe is closing in on itself. Oh, so we need to get Superman out quickly. So he gets the spheres. Again, whatever the fuck that means. Yes, whatever the fuck that means, because there's no context for shit in this film.
Well, before you continue on, as far as the random guy that's holding the Metamorpho's son hostage.
Yeah, he's just fucked off.
Why? Any reason why, or is it just random fuck off?
Probably needed a piss. Needed a space. Needed a pocket universe wank. It was tea time. He wanted to read the Diary of Anne Frank.
Okay.
It was up to chapter 11.
Okay. That's fair. I mean, I guess. Congrats.
But he's just yellow flashlight, but he's just been charged back up by the sun that Metamorpho's created. Anyway. So he gets out of the he manages to find his way to the hole where Lois and Mr. Terrific are, and they get out. They get out and they get back onto planet Earth out of the pocket dimension. And Mr. Terrific says, I'm going to stay behind and try and sort all of this shit out. And Superman and Lois are going to bugger off or something. I can't remember. I was really kind of checked out. The popcorn was much better for me by now. So, God, now what happens? God, I got to try and remember this. So now Superman knows that Lex is a poopy pants. That he always did. And if bypass the scene where he bursts into Lex's office and has a, because after he realized that the message from Jor-El had been compromised, he goes back to the Fortress of Solitude, and we see where all the robots are destroyed, but he fixes them back up at the end of the film anyway, so it's got no weight at all. And he notices that Crypto's missing, and he goes to Lex and he has his shout at Lex in the office, which we've already seen because they released that scene as well, because you've seen the whole film. So we've had all that kind of stuff. So now he's like, now I can go after Lex. So they go back to Metropolis, and Lex reveals that his whole plan was to start this fight between the two countries, not to create any political tension, but he wanted to get Superman involved so he could take out Superman. That was the whole plan all along. So Lex devises a cunning plan. He's going to now split open the pocket dimension, and it's going to start tearing through our planet in Metropolis. He's going to send one of the portals. He's going to send it out from one of the portals. You've seen it in the trailer. You've seen the sea get torn up. I don't even want to go into any of the Jimmy Tessmacher stuff. It's just silly. So it's tearing towards him. So he says, "I'm going to do two things, Superman. Two things simultaneously. Bravaria, whatever. They're going to invade Kabrownistan. I don't know what the other place is called. The other place. And there's this tear in the fabric of time and space or whatever. So you can't be in two places at once. Haha, got him." So the Justice Gang just go to the other place and Superman stays in Metropolis. Which I thought was a bit weird because the whole thing was that the other people who were being invaded are holding up all these flags going, "Superman, Superman, Superman." And it isn't Superman that turns up, it's the Justice Gang, the JG, the James Gunn that turn up. And just because Superman hasn't been fucking made to look like an ineffectual fucking cuck the whole film, when Guy Gardner lands and stops the invading troops, they go, "Superman!" And he lands and goes, "Nah, you got an upgrade." I mean, okay. You could argue that's very Guy Gardner.
Guy Gardner, yeah.
You could also argue that, come on, can you give Superman something? Because
Some
if the
respect.
Justice Gang are there for the first time because Superman's told them, "Gone, please, for the love of God, do this," right?
Yeah.
Then you think then there's got to be some level of respect. I don't know. But they showed him no respect anyway. And so the way that they decide to de-escalate the tension between these two countries, because Superman had been chastised for getting involved, he'd been chastised for going across the border and destroying the tanks of Bavaria or whatever. He'd been chastised for doing that because he inserted himself into external politics and whatnot. The way that they are going to de-escalate it is to kill the leader from the other country. American heroes killing a leader from a different country because that won't cause shit in the slightest. Even if they weren't allied with this country, people like China, Russia, people like that would be like, whoa. So yeah, they decide that that's the best way to de-escalate is to kill the leader from the other country. So Hawkgirl kills the guy. Whereas Superman starts fighting with Ultraman and the Engineer, while Mr. Terrific is trying to close the tear from the Pocket Universe, which is going at whatever speed it needs to go at for the plot to happen. It's tearing towards Metropolis, and then it just seems to stop while they fight, and then it's carrying on a bit. So that's going on. The bit that we've seen in the trailers where Superman has all the troops. I forget what they're called. They're not Ravens. Whatever they called the troops. I forget what they're called. The bit in the trailer where he comes up and he goes, and he eye beams everybody. You seen that in the trailer? Yeah?
Yeah, no, I've seen it. Yes,
Raptors.
yes.
Yeah, they're called Raptors. And he's punches that guy and his teeth hit the screen and all that.
Yeah, I've seen it. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Then regular people. They're not robots. It's not a robotic army. They're actually people. So he lasers them all down. They're as high as a fucking skyscraper. And then they all come crashing down to the ground. And then they just start going, oh, like they're still fine. Oh.
So
like the A-Team. Remember the A-Team where a car would like explode into a million pieces and smash like 58 times, and then the guy would just get out and go, oh, because you can't have death in the A-Team.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Yeah. So they're all okay, apparently. So even though it fucking uses laser on everybody, and they all fell down the height of a fucking World Trade Center down to the fucking ground, they were all fine. Everybody was fine. And then he ultimately defeats Ultraman, who's revealed to be a clone of Superman. That's when we get the absolute lunatic take that the way that Lex has been predicting Superman's fighting style is by looking at what he's going to do and then relaying it verbally to somebody who then relays it to Ultraman, which is apparently quicker than Superman throwing a punch, which is stupid as fuck. So he defeats Ultraman, he defeats the engineer, and then he goes to take out Lex. And that's when he gives his little speech. Lex is absolutely furious and goes, I just fucking hate you. I fucking despise you. You're a filthy alien. And I'm like, I'm okay with that. But we have no context as to why.
Yeah.
All we've had is Superman's been Superman for 3 years, and then 3 minutes ago, Superman lost his first fight. So for these 3 years, because even when Superman smashes into Lex's office, Lex says, finally, we meet. So this is the first meeting between Superman and Lex. So we have no context as to why Lex is so consumed with hating Superman. Now you could say that, well, that's because he's jealous of Superman or he envies Superman because Superman's all this. Or no, you're writing the movie then. You're writing the movie. Not James Gunn. You are. You are filling in stuff which James Gunn just couldn't be bothered to fucking do. So he calls, he does that, I fucking hate you, I despise you. You're nothing but a filthy alien. And Superman says, he says, I am an alien, but I'm a human. He said, I'm just as human as anyone else here. I get scared, I fail, I make mistakes. I'm just as human as anyone. And I was desperate for him to just go, and more than just a human, I'm an American, and I've been brought up by my wonderful parents, and they taught me 3 very specific values: truth, justice, and the American way. But he doesn't. He just gives this speech. And after he's given his speech, Lex is winding up for a retort. And before Lex can even say anything,
fucking dog. Yeah.
Crypto just kills him. Just comes in and kills him. Just smashes him round everywhere. Now, we've already seen Superman wince in pain when Crypto jumped on top of him. Yeah, he had broken ribs, but this is a fucking Kryptonian. A fucking Kryptonian that's been powered up Kryptonian. So what Crypto was doing would have fucking killed Lex, but he just got a broken arm. So Lex gets taken into custody. There's also really annoying things. There's a guy in his squad who's just talking to Lex like he's a piece of shit all the time. And if it was Lex Luthor would just shot him in the fucking head, And then he probably would have just got mercy to go around to his family's house and fucking kill his whole family. Just for extra, go fuck yourself. So Lex is taken into custody, and then we get the silly Billy endings. Mr. Terrific has closed the gap. The best character in the film by a long shot. Superman goes off and snogs Lois. We've seen them. We saw the bit where they're going up in the air, snogging, turning around. That's actually right at the end of the film. Superman then fucks off to the Fortress of Solitude, and then there's a cameo. Supergirl comes in, and you hear it. She goes, "Where's my dog?" And you're like, because it was established that Superman was looking after Crypto. It wasn't his dog. He's looking after it. So she looks good. The costume looks good. She looks good, right? But she's acting like she's drunk. And apparently she's just been going around planets with red suns so that she can get drunk, because she can't get drunk under a yellow sun. But she's now back on a planet with a yellow sun, but she's still acting drunk. Sorority girl. Oh my God, sees. And then she says, once the Crypto goes over to her, she just says, "See you later, bitch," to Superman. Because that's what Superman needed right at the end of this film, is to be called a bitch by Supergirl. And then she just fucks off. That's it. She's done.
Oh,
and then it ends with saying, Superman wants to charge himself back up again from the sun. So he's in his chair. All the robots have been fixed. Robot number 4 now wants to call himself Gary. Shout out Nerdrotic. Wants to call himself Gary. So while he's charging up, he's got a smile on his face, and you hear Gary go, he likes to have images of his parents when he charges up, but this time instead of Jor-El and Lara, it's now his family, who we did visit in the film for one scene, and that was it. So again, you didn't really get a true relationship between the Kents and Clark. There should have been much more of that. But they didn't let anything sit. So that's going on, and then the credits hit. And then when the first credit scene comes in, it's not an end credit scene. It's just literally Superman on the moon with Krypto looking at Earth. You've seen that image. It's been released. And then if you go all the way to the end credits, which I really wasted my time doing, because I thought there was going to be a Brainiac end credit scene, and I wanted to see what that was going to be about. It ended up just being Superman by the ship after it landed, after Mr. Terrific had sealed the gap, and the buildings haven't aligned exactly. There's like a little bit of difference, and so Superman says to Mr. Terrific, and he goes, you're complaining that I didn't get it fucking exact? And Mr. Terrific fucks off, and then Superman says, gosh darn it, I'm such a jerk sometimes. And that was
the end credit scene?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I didn't like it. I didn't like this film.
That is interesting to say the least. Let me ask you this. Wow, that's a lot to digest. There's so much I want to talk about, and I don't want to make this a fucking 5-hour show, because I easily could. I'll start here. I've seen people say that it feels more. Or let me disagree and agree with this. I've seen people say that it feels more like just the dynamic of the characters, that it does feel more like a Mr. Terrific film, that Superman is like a major player in, but it feels more like it's his thing.
He's certainly the most competent out of any of the heroes.
Okay.
He's certainly the most competent. Yeah.
Okay.
And like I enjoyed the Mr. He's not in it huge amounts.
Okay.
But I enjoyed the Mr. Terrific scenes more than anyone, more than any other character in the show. So when Mr. Terrific was on the screen, I was a little bit more attentive because he was good. He was good, and I think David Cornsweet is a good choice for Superman. I think he's got a great look, decent actor. I think he can be a decent actor. I just would have preferred that he got a better script to work with. And I think Rachel Brosnahan is a great choice for Lois Lane. Brilliant choice for Lois Lane. But there was a scene which kind of like just made my heart deflate, because Superman and Clark and Lois have only been dating for 3 months. Again, everything was 3.
3, yeah.
In this film for some reason. And they've only been dating for 3 months. And their first interaction that we see is Clark is trying to do something nice for Lois for their 3-month anniversary together. So he's in his apartment or her apartment, I think. He's in her apartment, and he's making her at night. It's at nighttime, but he's making her favorite breakfast. I think that's endearing myself. I think that's romantic. One might be so bold as to say romantic. It's his missus. He's allowed to be a super simp. You can simp your missus. That's allowed. A man who's not simping his missus probably doesn't deserve that missus. Okay. If you're simping on other people's missuses, then you can, then there's something fucking wrong with you. So I thought that was kind of romantic. Lois didn't seem to think so. Then it goes into that scene where she interviews him for 5 hours. Then this is the bit which made my heart deflate. Is later on, she's with Mr. Terrific, who she doesn't know from fucking Adam, right? They've only just met. And this is one of their very first interactions. And she tells Mr. Terrific that she was going to dump Clark. She was going to dump him. And I'm just like, why would you have that in the film?
That's pretty foul.
Like they've only been seeing each other. So within the first 3 months of dating Superman, because he's Superman. This guy, you're already like this guy is like,
and she's telling that to a guy that she just met.
Yeah. You're a fucking you're a beautiful slab of fucking dark chocolate,
Oh, dude, that's bad. That's bad. That's fucking bad.
I was gonna dump Superman. I was gonna dump him. And then at the end, because he tells her that he's already told her that he loves her, but she hasn't told him that she loves him. And it's only right at the end of the film when he's done all the other gubbins that she's like, okay, now I'm wetter than an otter's pocket and I love you. But it was just like I thought it was such a horrible thing to happen.
Yeah, they could have done without that.
Yeah. She could have done anything there. She could have just talked about.
I see what you mean.
How difficult it is to blur the line between boyfriend, superhero, and work, because we work together. We're boyfriend, girlfriend, and he's fucking Superman. And she could say that he can be tough. Are we cut out for this? And Mr. Terrific could have maybe have gone, you two kids look good together,
Yeah.
But actually saying I was gonna dump him, that's just like fuck.
No, that's a justifiable, like definitely in that situation scene like that. They could have done without that for sure.
Yeah.
They could have done without that. They could have done without that. That was unnecessary. But look, that's that interesting take on Superman. Hearing your assessment, hearing everybody else's assessment. Interesting take on Superman. Like I said, I was never the biggest fan of like, okay, first film, we're including all of these fucking, the Guy Gardners and the Mr. Terrifics of the world, including all of them. I was like, yeah, I don't know about that. I think they could have done without that. And it does sound very Guardians-esque.
Particularly with the Justice Gang and the other stuff. Yeah.
It sounds, and I could see that. I mean, look, James Gunn sticking to what he knows. So can you blame him? But I just think there's better ways to do a Superman for sure. For your first film in your universe. Like I said, I don't think James Gunn was the guy.
Clark had done nothing wrong in the film. Like the way that Clark was portrayed in the film was like I said, probably a bit too weak for a Superman by a long shot. But he was never a bad man.
Yeah.
He never did anything that you'd say, well, that's really out of character for Superman, or that's maybe apart from the crying. Apart from the crying bit where he should have been mad and not crying. But he wasn't a bad man. Everything that was seen of him was, this looks like a good man. So it's not like he was doing anything to piss Lois off. But again, there was just so little context. We were just getting this information, and it felt like we just missed all the context for it. Like we jumped to a second film, and I just completely missed the first film. Like the first film had all the world building, the character building, the relationship building, the family building. All of that was in the first film, and this was the second film where things were starting to escalate. It just felt like I was missing a whole film watching this. Too much B and not enough A to get to B.
Well, damn, that's interesting. Did your score move from 4 to maybe 3.5, or you? Is that what
No, no, I think four is
think
where it sits.
Fair enough. Yeah.
I mean, I
got
didn't
you. Look,
discuss any of the Jimmy stuff. I thought the Jimmy stuff was silly. I thought the Tessmacher stuff was silly. Otis didn't really play any part in it whatsoever. Lex had some decent stuff to begin with, and then by the end, he was a sniveling crybaby like everyone else was.
Yeah, that's what a lot of people were saying.
And it's so frustrating because I think Nicholas Holt's a great actor. I like Nicholas Holt as an actor. I was a bit skeptical his Lex, but when you started to see things, it's like, okay. I wasn't seeing it at first, but okay. And the way he started off, I was kind of like a bit hopeful, and then by the end, I was just like, that's not Lex. Particularly when the guy's berating him all the time towards the end, and I'm just like, mate, Lex would throw you out a fucking window.
Yeah.
And wouldn't even bat an eyelid. So you want to shut your fucking hipster fucking tacked face up.
Well, we'll see box office wise if this carries. Like I said, I just believe and agree or disagree with me, and with it being the first film, with it being a Superman, it needed.
But that's just it. Somebody in chat just said, "Where do they go from here?" The film doesn't actually set anything up. It doesn't set anything up. It could go literally. I mean, on the positive side, it could go anywhere because nothing is set up. There's no, oh, this villain's on the horizon, or this could potentially happen, or oh, this was left unresolved and could come back. There's none of that. There's none of that. It's all wrapped up in a bow. And if there was never another Superman film, it would just feel like a standalone film that was busy. A standalone film that we missed the first part to. Superman Part 2.
That you basically, you got to put right in the middle of the standalone film. Yeah. That makes sense. That makes sense. That makes sense. That makes a lot of sense. Well, like I said, I've seen opinions on this, and there's a lot of guys. I will say this much: most of the guys that I do trust in terms of their opinion, because I know they have that comic book perspective, have for the most part, even the guys that don't get into the cultural war stuff, and for the most part, have been like it's they've disliked it. But as far as just on average, it does seem to be you can find people on either end of the spectrum. The guys that are like, oh, this is great, and then other guys is like. Yeah, and I think a lot of that's going to depend on how you contextualize everything. I think that's always going to be what's going to influence people in how they see the movie. Like, if it's Superman, you're going to look at that movie a lot differently than you would a Plastic Man, movie or something like that, right? Just because of the general magnitude. Is it also supposed to start off a universe like this one? It's like all that stuff is going to matter in how you analyze any movie, especially one like this. So I totally get that. I totally understand.
I can't be coming out of a Superman movie thinking, I want to know more about Mr. Terrific, and I don't care about.
Well, yeah, that's a problem. Again, that's the context of it all, right? Like that's if you were like, oh, it's a wonderful Mr. Terrific film, but a not so well done Superman film, then great.
I would have I would have preferred much less Superman and more Mr. Terrific.
Yeah,
or
I've seen a lot of people say that.
Gang film. If this film was called The Justice Gang,
yeah, I've seen a lot of that,
and I got a bit more Mr. Terrific in it, I'd be more than happy.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of that.
By the way, you might want to check Saints and Sinners out, dude.
Yeah, I did see that Saints and Sinners. On a more positive note, hit. It's 11,500 books sold, as well as $450,000 in total sales. Yeah, man, what a
we're coming for ya.
What a wow.
We're right in your ass, dude.
Well, yeah, it's gonna happen. This is gonna be I think a 12,000 plus book. So
well, I mean, is there a chance We need about just over another 1,000 books sold to beat Horseman #1.
Yeah, it very much could happen.
Is it gonna happen?
It very much
Is
could happen.
Saints and Sinners gonna become the biggest selling Rippaverse book
of the
of
year
2025 so far?
Yeah, it very much could happen.
And is it gonna hit half a million?
Half a million.
Half a million.
Let's go. We'll see. We will see. Appreciate everybody and all the love that you have been showing today for Saints and Sinners. Remember, this ends at 11 p.m. Central. Okay, 11 p.m. Central. So go
5 a.m. Saturday UK time.
That's midnight Eastern and 10 p.m. Mountain, 9 p.m. Pacific. There you go.
It's midnight Eastern.
Yeah.
Correct. Yeah.
Yeah, that's midnight Eastern.
Yeah. Midnight. Yeah. Midnight Eastern. Yeah.
Midnight Eastern. Cool. All right, we have Ill versus Babyface, who is the guy right next to me. 20 months in the game. Let's go. Being a member on the channel. Shout out to Az. We got Golden Wolf with 11 months. Hey, guys, working on my own pages while I listen. Can't wait for my copy of Saints and Sinners. Got cover A. God bless. Well, I appreciate that. Appreciate you grabbing cover A. Thank you so much.
Best-selling cover. Thank you. Goat cover. My cover. Numero uno cover.
Let's
you
go.
Know the score. I know the score. Love it. Drunk 3PO. Drinker, Mauler, you gotta fucking come on, guys. You gotta step up to the fucking plate with those. Come on now. You gotta start shouting to your audiences. Come on, guys. You can't let this fucking fat fuck win.
Riumpa with a 10 said DC want a diverse win. How about live action Batman Beyond? Movie agent GL, smart black female best friend in a city overrun by a gang of gay clowns.
Dude,
for Terry to punch. Everyone wins.
You don't even it doesn't even matter. I just want a Batman Beyond film. It's all of that stuff is superfluous to that. It's just I think it'd be such a great fucking live action film. Keaton, Batman, and then get nice young fucking Terry McGinnis. The other stuff is just by the by. They had a setup with it. They had a setup with Keaton to be Batman for that Batman Beyond movie. I would love it. You could get such a cool, almost Blade Runner-esque Gotham. It's different. It's futuristic. The Bat costume is a different breed with that futuristic Batman costume. It could be so fucking cool, that film. It could be so cool. The other stuff is just buy the fucking buy.
Yeah. DB with a 2 says, "How do I fail this hard? Keep it up." This is Az and EJ. Yeah.
DB, just my only goal with it. I know that some of you guys have got your little rivalries and whatnot, and that's all cool and everything. But all I wanted to do when I did my story was I just wanted to write an entertaining story, and I don't care who buys it. I just want people to buy it.
Absolutely.
I want people who love comics to buy it. I want them to have a good time. I don't care about anything else which goes on around that. The customer is king. It's the customer that matters, nothing more. And I just want you guys to pick up a copy, and I just want you guys to have fun. And I cannot wait for your feedback on the book. And I just really hope that you enjoy. That's all I was trying to do.
Let's go. All right. We have Josh Kelsey here with a 20. I mean, as usual, there's nothing there.
Don't need to say shit about shit unless you want to say shit about shit.
Don't need to say absolutely anything. Respect to Josh Kelsey. We got Kelly out with the 10 says Disney covered in 4 walls of construction at the universe's new shiny theaters are praying for hot weather to act like a refuge for kids. It's going to be a horse race between Superman and Jurassic till Fantastic Four.
Well, Jurassic has gone over 500,000 worldwide now. So it's actually doing decent stuff. It's got 560 million worldwide, which is pretty crazy. Yeah, it had a better opening weekend than Superman, but Superman's had a better first Tuesday than it did. Like I said, I think this has been a good Tuesday for Superman. It'd be interesting to see where the rest of the week goes, of course, in the next weekend. But it's holding okay on the first week. But yeah, 560 million. But Jurassic Park is something that Superman does not have right now, and that is
Dinosaurs?
the international audience. Well, yeah. Well, no, because Superman
there's a kaiju. Yeah.
It's kind of got one.
Yeah.
No, it's got a bigger international than domestic, which is ultimately what you'd really want that. You really want that. But Superman, as we've seen, is struggling big time internationally, and we'll see how that continues this weekend.
Cool. Omniscience.
Exactly.
I can't fucking read shit today. Well, the 5 says, what do you think about the new Fantastic Four rumor with Reed and Ben having a romantic past? I don't know anything about that.
No,
but I wouldn't be surprised at all. I mean, I called their bluff years ago on if they could just keep them a straight, largely white family. So we'll see. Achilles Jones with a 5 says, well, I would like to go see a Green Arrow movie. Stephen Amell was actually great in it, in my view.
First couple of seasons were good.
Look, man, I covered a lot of the CW. Well, wasn't that what it was once again? Like what back?
It was WB, yeah. When Smallville started, it was WB.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, I'm tripping. But yeah, the CW, I covered all that stuff. They had some great individual. Like I think for example, their Cat Grant was really fucking good. And
Lisa Flockhart, yeah.
Was really fucking good. She was really good as Cat Grant. And then you had Blackball Jimmy Olsen.
When it moved away from LA to Vancouver, to film.
Yeah,
Lisa Flockhart ain't coming up to Vancouver to film, mate.
Yeah.
But remember, with the Arrow, dude, you do have to remember they took a lot of Batman stories and adjusted them to Green Arrow.
Yeah. We have My Tigger, that's his name, with a 10 says.
It is Tigger.
He says, looking to start my own sci-fi graphic novel series. Ripper, do you have any advice on YouTube channels or classes for beginners? Regardless, keep up good work and God bless. Like to write? Not really. There's not a whole lot like I could like specifically point you to. Like there's obviously a lot of artists that can give you great perspective on that. Like off the top of my head, I'm sure there are. I'm sure there's plenty. There's a lot of content creators out there that I'm sure are. But like I talked about, like for example, Irene Strakowski. She does a great job of giving you perspective. She's the writer and artist of Fiendish. Did that poster actually? That's right there, directly behind me, right here.
Nice.
Her videos are amazing. But yeah, like I mean, I talk about some of the business stuff over there on the Creator Business channel if you're interested in that type of stuff. But yeah, I wish I could say, hey, this person specifically for writers does great work and all that stuff. I'm not sure. I will say that there's a lot of material that, I mean, it's comics, but you know, Danny O'Neill, I mean, that's what a graphic novel is. He's done some great work. Both Marvel and DC have put out like how to create comic books, type of stuff that you can. Danny O'Neill to me is the one that he did with DC is like so good. Because he does talk a lot about business stuff, but especially in like the general format that most people operate on, like the general script format, he goes through very well in that book. Whereas to like the Marvel way is way different. It's you're given a lot of interpretation, opening up for a lot of interpretation for the artist because you're not really writing a script. You're writing more of an outline. Then the artist would panel it out, and then you would come back and write the dialogue, which is like the opposite of like the general approach. That's the Marvel way, and it works. It works for a lot of people. And again, it worked obviously for Stan Lee and everything that he did. But like if you're talking like straight up script writing, like DC's, I forget what is that guy to writing come. I don't know what the actual name. I forget the name. I have it on that shelf somewhere back there. But yeah, good stuff. Good stuff. All right, we have Nick says, I want to return to the family, Rocketeer, The Shadow, bring back Art Deco style period pieces with good writers, of course. Perhaps. Yeah. Beetle Johnson, 5 gifted membership. Shout out to you. Shout out. We got a 50. Again, big shout out to Beetle Johnson. Zero Dark, a Canadian 50, says, love you guys. I wanted to hire Rip for a project for consulting and fulfillment. Haven't sent an email and I heard back. Just waiting. You said you have sent. We're backed up for sure. But we'll get around to it definitely, because if you're not putting that out to next year, you got plenty of time. But yeah, we'll get around to it. We're going through all of that stuff, trying to get caught up on that stuff. So yes. We have Rye with a 5 says, I missed the campaign for Yara 3. Will you be releasing again? Yara 3, you can get it right now. Every book that we have, you're able to get it. It might not be A, B, or C cover, but there will always be a mass print cover of that book for the mainline titles. For the Ripazines, we do end up moving on, but for the mainline titles, there's always a book that you can grab. So go grab it. Appreciate that.
There seems to be some weirdness going on with the Superman numbers at the moment.
Okay, what's
I
going on?
I don't know if it's a glitch report or whatever, but the international are updated once a week, and the numbers for some reason have updated the international box office to be pretty much the same number, bar like 1 million, 2 million, the same as the domestic. So they're now reporting that the domestic is 155 million after the Tuesday, and the international is 157 million, which would have mean that the international has somehow gone up 62 million in 2 days.
Impressive.
Which says, did they misreport? Have they just made a complete blunder on that, or what exactly? So I'll keep an eye on what's going on there.
Cool.
I'll keep an eye on what's going on there. Yeah.
Cool. Appreciate that. Shout out to Libertarian 05. Big shout out to Flash as well in the chat.
They'll take another 62 million. That'll make things a bit better for them.
Yeah, for sure. MMA Crease King says, I love the new Superman. I give it a 7.5 to 8 out of 10. It was fun. Clayface in the DCU ass. Also, Ripper, how do you feel that Dragon Ball voice actor Ray Hurd that love your stuff? He also said he want to voice a character. I did see you say that. Please have him. Well, I don't know if you still have his contact. I love hearing that. And absolutely, I would love to, with some of our stuff, have him do something. Absolutely. Let's do it. I don't know if you still have his contact. I saw the tag that you had. I shared it around, but man, or I can make it the contact. I would love to do that. Shout out to MMA Crease King Jr. Be sure to keep an eye on his podcast and everything that he's doing. But yes, absolutely. Joe says, did you get the Switch 2 yet? Hell King Roy. I don't have it. My wife has it, obviously. She plays it. She has it downstairs. But I don't have one for myself yet. And yeah, I talked about it last night. Like, there's no Roy in the new Mario Kart, which is a bust as far as I'm concerned. Ooh. Yeah. So unless they, maybe they'll add him as like, DLC at some point. But yeah, he's not, to my knowledge, not even an unlockable character. Want Rip to do a review so bad, Chaz, the movie. When I was doing those reviews, y'all gotta understand how much time that took out of my day. Like, not my day. Those like, that was a full day thing. Like, I would record it, I do the history, and remember, I was editing my shit myself. When I did all that, like, I was doing all the history of and doing everything. Like, that's why all my reviews were like fucking 45 minutes long. But yeah, man, those days are long gone because I cannot financially justify spending that much time doing it. Not to say I wouldn't make them. I do one of those videos and it'd have 500,000 views. But what I'm saying is, and so I'd get a financial return. But look, dedicating labor to that versus dedicating labor to the Riververse or something like that. It's a cost benefit analysis kind of situation, right? So, yeah, though, if this was 2019, absolutely, I would have been all over that. But yeah, we got ass here to do that now.
This fucking monkey here. I'll fucking do it. I'll take the brain cell.
He takes the brain cell damage, man. Like he does that. Jose
Fantastic Four in a couple of weeks.
Oh fuck that! I bet you're gonna have a blast with that. Jose with 4 months says Gabe liked Superman really and had really good points on why it was good. Some things he didn't like, but overall his points were good. I've seen that Gabe likes it. I haven't seen obviously I didn't know if he did a review or anything. I know he said like a tweet, like he's like, yeah, it was good. Kelly Alpha the 2 said Batman Beyond X-Ray Girl is GF Keaton and Bruce Wayne. Yeah, maybe that's something we can make happen. Hot Dice says which number is higher, Saints and Sinners sales in thousands or Superman box office in millions? I mean, it could end around the same. I mean, it's on track to maybe be around the same. Half a million for us versus 500. Oh, excuse me, versus 500 million for them. So yeah. We have Zero Dark. No, excuse me. Yeah, I got that. Zero Dark with a 20 says, got my Yara statue. Shout out to you. I'm patiently waiting for Saints Sinners as I know you will amaze and entertain. Great War Separation blew my mind. I will wait to hear back from Rip Sin. Thanks. Oh, appreciate that Zero Dark for the support. And yeah, like I said, we have had a lot of people reach out to us when we launched, so we're making our way through it, but we also want to make sure that we're dedicating time and resource for the projects that we already got out, like Flash's book, which ends at the end of next week. So yes, make sure you go grab that. And yeah, we'll get to it. Joe Music with a 2 said, did you get my other super chat, Rip, about Saints? Wait a minute. Did I miss some? Scrolling up, trying to see if Joe Music said anything. I don't see anything here. I just see the one about the Switch 2. That's it. So I do not. That's all I see, unfortunately. Unless a team member can find it. I don't see anything. I don't see anything. And that is it. Wow. Okay. What do you got? How's everything going? What's going on with you? Got streams? You got fucking.
Well, I'm just gonna have a look about maybe being able to slide a video out today. We'll see if possible. If not, definitely a video out tomorrow. Then Friday, I will be on the Saints and Sinners closeout stream.
Ooh-wee.
Then I'll be gonna do Friday Night Tights. Then I'll be doing I'm closing out Saints and Sinners.
Let's go.
Right to the fucking end.
Let's go.
So Friday's gonna be a
you got a long day ahead of you, man.
Very busy boy this Friday, but I want to see Saints and Sinners out to the end, just hang out with you guys and gals, and let's just see where we can end with that campaign. But you've been spectacular, and I really cannot thank you enough for the absolute incredible support that book's been getting. Thank you.
Shout out. I got a picture. Says Ripper said if we get Saint Sinners 500,000 by Friday, he will come out of retirement for a one-time review of Superman. I like how they just levied. Wow, that's insane. Levying that at me. Yeah, man, I don't know, bro. Like I said, it's just so. The good news is I do have an editorial team. The bad news is, yeah, it's like, well, I'd have to take them off of doing something else to go do a review, right? And then it's like, fuck, and then I'm going back down that rabbit hole of fucking, I got to do my script. I got to make sure all things are tied out. I don't know. It's time management thing. It's not that I don't care about you awesome, lovely people. I did tell y'all I'm going to try to start doing like these little sprint streams to check in with you all a lot more, like I did yesterday. But man, it's it's hard to revert back to doing stuff like that, because the way that I look at my time these days is just really changed since this company got off the ground. Because I'm like, okay, I can do that, but if I do that, something else isn't going to get done. This is how I look at everything. So yeah. I do appreciate everybody. But the good news is, like I said, I am going to try to do like some short streams a little more, just to at least check in with you awesome people. So yeah, thank you all so much for the support, and I appreciate y'all. Y'all are the absolute best.
By the way, I'm just looking at the international now for Superman. There's been some serious adjustments on it. China is coming in at 35.8 million.
Okay.
Now, France 17.7 million. Germany nearly 10 million. India nearly $10 million. Japan nearly $10 million. Mexico $15.4 million.
Damn.
And the
Mexicans
UK
actually
is
love
coming
Superman.
in at, UK 21.6 million, which would take it up to that 157 million international, which keeps it on pace with the domestic. Interesting to see about that. So were there countries not reported at the weekend who are now reporting? And that's what's, because it was an exceedingly low international.
So it could be like a delayed in reporting.
Yeah, we will see. We will see how that goes. But it's currently showing a worldwide of 312 million now.
Well,
which is a lot better.
That
is a lot better.
Great perspective. Yeah, I got that, Joe Music. Appreciate that, and shout out to the team. I think Jordan got that to me. But
15 million in fucking Mexico. Why the fuck did they get 15 million?
They like Goku and shit. So Goku was basically fucking Superman. So but yes, thank you guys so much for the support. Appreciate y'all grabbing Saints and Sinners and all the other projects that we have active. Like I said, I'm gonna try to pop in, do more streams. But yeah, I'm gonna do some work here in a little bit. Actually, no, my wife I have stuff that I have to do there that she has assigned to me. So let me go do that, and then I will get back to some work stuff. Thank you all so much for the support. We'll be next week on Az's channel for episode number 81. I'm sure some fun stuff will happen. Then we'll also probably have a box office update. So yes, thank you all. We'll see you next time. Friday's going to be a big day as we close down Saints and Sinners for the pre-order collection, that is. So I'm really looking forward to that. We'll see you guys there. We have several streams that we're doing throughout the day. Let's see if we can get this bad boy. I think we can do 500,000. I think we can.
It's a chance.
We've got a shot. We've got a shot.
There's a chance.
Get your pre-orders in while you can. Thank you all so much. Y'all are amazing. But we got to get out of here. Until next time, y'all be easy. And peace out.
Bye.